And we'll move back to the app whenever we want to sort of walk us through what a feature essentially does. So starting with the 4 releases that we actually had go out in the last 30 days for Conversation AI. Number one was snapshots for Conversation AI, where any URLs or FAQs that you have trained for a particular business, you can now go ahead and add that to your snapshots. And those FAQs and URLs will essentially be copied across n number of sub accounts that you would want them to copy it off to. So this comes from the feedback where people like some of the users had identified the questions that are very generic to their particular business niche, and they just wanted those URLs to be to sort of move over from one account to 10 other sub accounts who have the similar type of services, and their users or their admins now just have to go and provide answers. So these URLs or these FAQs are essentially questions without an answer, and what they do is they just make the client go and fill up those answers while the questions are added onto their sub account as soon as their sub account gets created. Cool. Moving on, we released a new workflow action. That is the appointment booking conversation action. And I think for this, I would want to move on to the app. So give me a minute and let me get that set up. So for all of you guys who have or have previously used or are currently using the Eliza appointment booking that only works on the SMS channel for now, try this action out. So this action for us is sort of like a replacement to what you have in Eliza. One, it works across all channels. Two, it has better intelligence because it's powered by an AI, while the Eliza one is powered by an older model, older machine learning model. So we have this action called appointment booking conversation AI bot. And as soon as you get into this action, you can choose the calendar on which you would want to get the appointment booked. So a lot of times when you are using your workflows, you would want to send contacts under different sort of sections where if someone is interested for buying, I want them to book a calendar on, let's say, a buy calendar. While someone is interested in renting a house, I want to have them book a calendar or book an appointment on a different calendar. Now you can choose which calendar gets triggered when this action is essentially triggered. You can give a personality and instructions to the bot. You can set up maximum messages, and these are the messages or the number of messages that the bot will try to book an appointment for. And this number, the lower limit, we have set it at 5. Anything less than 5, the experience is very bad because it takes 3 to 4 messages just to confirm the appointment. So you can, by default, it's 10. You can take it to as high as 25. And then the second thing is timeout value and unit, wherein what is the timeout time? Timeout is in how much amount of time should a contact end up responding back to you. If not, it essentially goes in a branch called timeout, and you can use a go-to back to the same branch. So this is essentially there to add follow-ups where you can say, if the contact doesn't reply within 2 hours, just move down the branch timeout, add a go-to back to the same action. And what this does is adds a follow-up sequence where it keeps following up with the customer. And then you can choose the channel. For now, you have SMS, Facebook, and Instagram. Live chat and WhatsApp are also coming up next. So then you'll be able to use this action across any channel that you are essentially talking to your contacts with. For now, let's say I select Facebook. Now I can also choose if I want to let the bot send the confirmation message or not. So a few of you guys would have confirmation messages like, hey, we have reserved your appointment. A team member will call you or we will call you back to confirm your appointment. And this is where it helps you. As soon as you trigger this on, the bot doesn't do the confirmation. It just books an appointment. And now, as soon as this action is configured, you have 3 branches that come in. The first branch is timeout, which we just talked about. And in timeout cases, the best thing to do is to add a go-to back to the same action. So now what is happening? Every 24 hours, let's say my current timeout period was 24 hours. If the contact doesn't respond back to the bot in 24 hours, the bot sort of does an outbound message or tries to follow up. Hey, which slot are you looking for? Is there something else that I can provide to help you get a better answer? If the appointment is booked, it goes in this branch. And if the appointment is not booked, in the message limit that was essentially added for, in this case, the message limit is, I think the platform is a little slow today. Yeah. So the message limit is 10. If the appointment is not booked in 10 messages, the contact goes in this appointment not booked branch. So this way you're able to control what happens. You're able to set up if else condition before this and have 2 different appointment booking bots. For example, if someone has not booked it on this calendar, I may want to try them out on a different calendar and sort of have a different personality to that bot. I can set up another action in appointment not booked, choose a different calendar, and that's the calendar that gets used for booking this appointment. Cool. I think we have questions in the chat. We'll keep covering the question in the chat so that we don't miss them out while going through the presentation. From this new action was sending the first message, so it is best to send a normal SMS and directly after that send into this new appointment bot action. Even if there is no first message and this gets triggered, this will send the first message. What should be in the first message can be something that you can add in the prompts, in the additional instructions or the personality, or what you mentioned as well. You can send an initial SMS as well and then trigger the bot. But even if there is no initial message and you trigger this bot, the bot will send the first message. And if it is not doing that, do share a support ticket with me. I can help run with the team if it's an edge case that we may have missed. Cool. Moving back to the presentation. The next one is send new bot settings when appointment is booked. So we have added essentially two new conditions or intents, you can say, or configurations that are available for your bot in the appointment booking phase. So if you have appointment booking, so if you have appointment booking enabled and you have a calendar selected, you'll see two new settings. The first one is called pause bot response after booking. So many a times the bot's goal is just to book an appointment and not to talk to the contact after that appointment is booked. Now you can just enable this, and as soon as you do this, the bot goes to sleep till the time the appointment is either completed or the appointment is over. Or you can also set up a custom time where you want the bot to, let's say, go to sleep for 30 days and only come back online after it. So you're able to control should the bot be able to talk after an appointment is booked or not. The second thing is you can also trigger any workflow that you want to be triggered after an appointment is booked by the bot. So for now, you could only have a trigger called appointment booked in workflows, and that would get triggered. You would not know which is the bot appointment or which is non-normal, let's say a user through the link, through the widget appointment. You can now choose to trigger a workflow after an appointment and sort of drop a notification or send the customer a confirmation or request for more information or do an internal notification for you, your team, anyone, and have that workflow do all of those things. And just choose this option. And as soon as you choose it, you get a drop down where you select all of your current published workflows. So you can choose the workflow that you want to be triggered for that contact, which gets triggered. And you can either notify you, yourself, your team, or your clients that those appointments or those conversations have been completed. Cool. View and edit crawled info for the URL. So till date, whenever you're adding any URL, we're just crawling info and you didn't know what info actually went to the bot. So what is now available on your website? And let me quickly go back to the app for this scenario. So you see now a third button here. As soon as you click on it, you see the data scraped from the website. So this is a test document that we added here, which was a Google Doc. And this was the content that was in that Google Doc that I see here. Now I can edit this content right here itself. I don't need to go to the website, make changes there, and then refresh the bot. I can actually make changes here. And let's say I add some information here as well. And I save it. I'll see training, and as soon as the training is done, it'll also show updated. So you will know this is the URL that you have essentially updated more information over and above what it was essentially crawled from the website. So this way you know what the bot is getting. Yeah, so now you see this edited, which tells you that if you retrain, it will directly get to the website. But this will tell you that you have actually edited and added information over and above what you're doing. Now, this was a prerequisite to a feature that I'll talk about in the next slides. But yeah, this is what it tells you. It gives you more visibility into what the bot has. Perfect. So live chat. So in the conversation AI action, which was the question and answer, you now also have a new channel called live chat. So you can use the same action that you were using for SMS, Facebook, and Instagram, also for live chat in the same configuration that you essentially had. Cool. So upcoming releases that you will essentially see come out in the next 4 weeks, that is by the end of this month or before the Level Up Summit. The first one is audit message info. Yeah, hey, Sydney.
The live chat that the live chat that you've got, is that going to, you can create multiple live chats. Is it going to allow you to distinguish between which live chat, or is just going to be all live chats?
So for now, it is all live chat, Sydney, but we are working on that itself, where not just in the workflow action, but also in the sub account, you can choose which chat widget or And in the chat widget, you will know which AI agent have you essentially, or which AI action or workflow have you added. For now, it is all live chat. It's not individual chat widgets.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Moving on. Perfect. So the reason that we started showing the website info was to also show more information that is going to the AI so that you're able to correct those information. So while running down our support tickets, we realized many a times the information that was added 3 weeks back is no longer valid. The offers have changed or the services are no longer applicable or the timings may have changed and you don't know where the AI is getting that information from. So very soon in your conversations panel, beside your thumbs up and thumbs down, you'll also start seeing uh, uh, the AI employee or the conversation AI icon. As soon as you click on it, you will see the prompt that was sent to the AI bot. So you understand what information the AI bot had. You will see the intent that was configured. And then you will see the FAQs and the website information that essentially went to the AI. So this will, and again, the best part is you'll be able to edit all of this information right here itself. So you're able to make changes, correct your information. So initially, thumbs up and thumbs down helped you add more information to the bot. Now, this will also help you see, did the bot get that information or not? And that can give you more information into raising tickets with us that tells us, hey, the bot didn't even get the information that I already added, but the bot got the information and I'm not able to get it. That means I need to maybe do something with the prompts that makes that information more relevant to the bot, which was not initially being relevant. So it sort of increases more transparency and more sort of analysis that you guys can do based on what went to the AI and what's coming from the AI. Perfect. The second thing that you will essentially see come out in the next 4 weeks is the AI bot status at a contact level, wherein for each conversation where an AI is active, you will see a AI icon come up with a green dot meaning it's active and an inactive with a sleep icon being there. And this will be a place where number one, you will know what is the current status of the AI bot. Is the AI bot going to respond when a message comes in or not? Number two, if you know it's a lead that you don't want the AI bot to talk to, you can anytime go ahead and send the bot to sleep or make it inactive for a longer period of time so that you're able to control where the bot talks or does not talk. Now, the best part of releasing this feature is as soon as this is released in the next 2 weeks, you will have a new workflow action called update conversation AI status. And then wherever you have an existing workflows, you can just plug in that action, which will help you control should the AI bot talk to this contact or should the AI bot not talk to this contact. So you can choose, let's say someone fills up form 1, form 2, form 3. I want the AI bot to only talk to them once they've filled all the 3 forms. For all the other scenario, I want the AI bot to be in the inactive state itself. So that is where you're able to control using workflows, using your existing triggers like payments, forms, trigger links, email opened, etc. And then plug in this action and control should the AI bot be able to talk to them or not. Cool. Other enhancement that you would essentially see come out before the level of summit is custom intents to trigger workflows and stop conversation AI bot. So today we talked about two settings wherein pause the responses when appointment is booked, and the second one was trigger a workflow when an appointment is booked. Now you will also be able to define when to trigger a workflow, and that definition would be a normal you talking to the AI bot. So you could tell the AI bot, hey, if the contact is very angry, then trigger this workflow. And as soon as the AI bot detects that the contact is getting angry, frustrated, is not happy with the response, it will actually go ahead and trigger those workflows. You'll be able to set up these custom conditions. Very soon, we'll also be coming up with multiple bots where today you're trying to do a lot of things using one bot itself, but then you'll be able to create multiple bots and use workflows and internal handover of these AI bots based on conditions. So you could say if someone wants to buy a house, hand over the agent to an agent who just books for someone who wants to buy a house. If someone wants to sell a house, could be a different agent. If someone wants to rent a house, could be a different agent. So you can assume these to be sort of employees that you are training in your team who have a specific task, and then you have a master, sort of like a receptionist or a master employee that's looking at who needs to do what and sharing those information with those sort of contacts. So this will be a major change that will be coming in conversation AI, where you'll be able to move from a single to multiple agent approach and then control those agents within an agent and then through workflows as well. Cool. Uh, I'll just cover the question that we have till now. So we have, can you give the AI information with an expiry date? No, Tony. Today, the information that you give it is there. I think the only way that you can expire information is by going and removing it. But yeah, there'll be no expiry date yet. We are actually working on an auto refresh. I think for an expiry date, let us see if we can add a feature to our roadmap. But yeah, nothing in the short term. Steve, is there any way to trigger a chat widget in a pop-up or inside a element on a web page? I'm not sure, Steve. I can share this information with the product manager for websites and forms. Uh, I'm not sure. I don't think it should be possible because it's a chat widget itself. But let me see if it's possible with the team and get back to you. If possible, can you drop me an email with this request and I will like take it to the right person. Cool. Hey AJ, so timeline on WhatsApp with Conversation AI. So we're looking at the end of this month to be able to use WhatsApp with Conversation AI. So you'll essentially have to wait for the next 4 weeks and you would have WhatsApp available for Conversation AI.
Awesome.
Perfect. Cool, guys. Moving on. And I think we talked a little bit about this the last time around. So I think we'll quickly go over what is there. But before that, I did have a phone number. So we're essentially doing a demo internally. And I have a phone number that you guys can try out. Give me a minute. And let me see if I can share that on the chat. So it's a US phone number. So plus one would be your country code. And Ryan, I think let's take 5 minutes towards the end of the call if we have it and have people test out the call, unmute themselves and tell us what the feedback is so that we are able to do a test on our own as well. But for now, I'll just
Live
skip over
test.
so we don't have to do it.
Love it.
Perfect. So I'll quickly go over. So similar updates from last year, from last month. I think the team is still working on it. We're looking at the end of this month to get this out. And quickly going over what you will have available on day one. So you'll be able to create an AI agent, give it a name, language, voice, direction, and an initial greeting message. You can then set up goals for the agent where you will have prompts available to configure what the agent should be, how should it behave, objection handling, etc. And then you have call transfers, trigger a workflow, end call, update contact field. So these are the actions that you'll be able to do with the bot. Tell it or that assistant or that AI agent, tell it when to transfer the call, tell it when to trigger a workflow, tell it when to end the call, tell it what contact field to update based on the information that it gets from the call. The next you'll be able to do would be assign a phone number and a working hour. So you'll be able to add a phone number to your agent. And this is where the beauty comes in, where any phone number that, let's say I have a team and I have a phone number that's assigned to Ryan. If I then go ahead and assign a phone number to the phone number that was assigned to Ryan, now every call that comes up first goes to Ryan. On Ryan's end, there is a timeout based on either a call timeout or a voicemail setting. As soon as that setting gets triggered, the AI bot picks up the call. So the AI bot by default is a backup to your user. So if your user or your team member doesn't pick up the call, that is when the AI picks up the call. Otherwise, the AI doesn't come into the picture at all. Along with that, you can also set up working hours. So let's say there is 6 hours in the day when I don't want the AI to pick up at all. I want only Ryan to pick up. But then there are 18 hours where if Ryan doesn't pick up, I still want the AI to go ahead and pick it up. That's how I'm able to do that. And if you want to set up a number that's purely AI, just remove Ryan from that user or from that number as well. And then it's the AI that always picks up the call. So using this configuration, you will be able to go and sell this to a business and tell them, hey, we are not going to change anything that's already happening. We're just going to make sure that the AI picks up an actual missed call that you or your team member were not able to pick up. Perfect. The last one would be test your agent, where you can essentially give us a phone number and have that AI agent call you up and test how the flow goes. And then you'll be able to manage all your AI agents within one place itself and see which are the phone numbers that those agents are enabled to, what was the last updated, what was their type, what was their name. And then, so I'm not presenting that today, but we're also coming up analytics and reporting for these agents where you'll be able to see how many minutes did they talk, what was the sentiment of the calls, how many objectives were completed. Let's say you had appointment booking added in, how many appointments got booked, how many contact fields got updated, what was the accuracy of the bot. So all of those evaluations and performance will also come in. But yeah, I've kept it out of the scope for today. so that we can spend time on the demo. But yeah, I think let's come back to the demo towards the end, and I should be good in the next 5 minutes as well. The next thing that we talked about last month as well, and I wanted to see if you guys have been using it. But today, whenever you start a chat or you start a Zoom call and you provide an answer to the question where the bot asks you, hey, what issue are you facing today? You get an AI bot's response along with two URLs or the support articles that that AI bot would have used to generate your response. So I think, first of all, I wanted to check with the people present here. Have you guys been reading through the responses, going through these articles, and then how has that experience been? Or if this is something that you guys actually skip up and don't go through. Hey, Chal.
So I see the response, but it's never anything remotely relative to what the actual problem is. It's more for like, I mean, and maybe it's just the case where I'm only going to chat support. I'm only going to high level support as an absolute last resort. And so it's usually pretty technical. I mean, maybe for like beginner questions, it's helpful, new agencies, but my experience talking with other agencies, it doesn't give any useful information.
Got it, Sal. So I've actually dropped like a calendar invite. If possible, can you drop like book a call on this like invite and let's see what those issues could be. I think we would want to run through 3 or 4 of those examples and see what we can essentially do. Can we make our knowledge base more stronger? Can maybe the knowledge exists, but the AI is dumbing it down? Can we make that AI's knowledge more sophisticated or not? But yeah, we would essentially want to take all of your
Well, and that's
feedback.
why I say, I mean, high level support is a last resort for me. So if I'm going to high level support, it's something either something's going wrong with a database lookup, um, whether it's contacts or something's getting, something's outside of the 60-day window for the change log, so we can't reverse it. I mean, for a lot of us that have been in high level, it's an absolute last resort to go to
All right,
high
makes
level
sense.
support. So that's why I say maybe it's better for beginners. People that are newer to high level and have more knowledge based questions rather than actual technical back end questions.
Yeah, I think it's important to bifurcate those two. When we're solving for this, there's there's a few moving pieces. One is the actual knowledge base, which myself and Keith and the team are continuing to build up there and going through a pretty extensive project to get that to where it needs to be, which is, you know, I think just like a knowledge gap. And then the second part is to make sure that the AI is trained properly on it, and testing for sort of like the first standard deviation of users. And
Yeah.
then, we can kind of get into more edge case, like how do we get a technical version of the bot perhaps that's going to dive into like specific requirements and details and limitations that we might currently have. Um, so yeah.
Got it. Cool. I think thanks for this, Charles. And if there's, yes, Kai.
Hey, I don't know if it would be just a crazy amount of code to add, but like if there was like some like information pop-up bubbles, I've noticed it's in a couple places, but if it was on like every feature, I just never know the parameters of a function inside high level. And if the knowledge base was somehow like in a sentence every like and some critical, even on some new stuff, maybe it's a whole lot to code, I don't know, but like a mouse hover over info bubble that pops out like boom, this controls this and has this parameter that like this is the limit and here's the other limit, and then it does that.
So you're talking
This
about
is
This is kind of
like
more
a dev mode
information.
where it's overlaying API documentation.
wow, that would be next level. Yeah, API or
Yeah.
just basic knowledge, like God,
Well,
just
we're
how
gonna
to
work
take
on
little
English
pieces.
first,
Yes,
because
sir.
we're not that awesome. But I definitely like the idea. I mean, it's an interesting thing as we continue to revamp that and decide what direction we're gonna go with the knowledge-based solution on the whole. So
White label.
Or is there, yeah, white label, bam. Is there also a is there a knowledge base AI bot? I've seen some sophisticated bots, but if it was like, hey, I want to get this outcome, and then it's like, boom, here's the like 10 steps you could take. Bam, you could make a
Yeah,
page with a form. Go here,
that's
link
what
here.
we're
It's already linked.
that's what we're working toward, but I think it may be more of like an in-app experience than like go here and then read all the different things you need to do. Sort of like a guided tour, but more like guided instruction. But it's kind of
Like
we're ruminating on it. It's not happening anytime super soon, but we're moving
okay.
toward that direction.
All right. Super future, but maybe they can save the AI prompt, like make a key initiative for them to focus on the next one thing. And they can save the AI
Mhm.
prompt and make a little task list. And they're like, boom, execute it with the help of AI through the knowledge base information.
Yeah,
Anyway, super future.
for sure, for sure.
All right.
Charles,
One thing I would like to see if there was a way to score agencies or agency admins when it comes to the support widget. I know there is if you've been with HighLevel for so long, maybe you have certain options, maybe you don't, when it comes to live chat or jumping straight into a Zoom call or something like that. I get that, you know, time on platform doesn't necessarily translate to knowledge of platform. And that's a real problem for some of us that, you know, we're going there. We only go there if we have to. We know you guys are busy, you know, but if there was a way to say, hey, you know, yeah, they may be on the platform for this long, but if they're jumping into Zoom, it's because they need to jump into Zoom. Like we understand what the Zoom people can do, which is not very much. You know, but they may be able to look at something to give us the answer that we need to be able to move forward. Sometimes we just need them to look at something that we can't see. And that's the only reason we want to jump into Zoom call. I just don't know if there's any way to separate, you know, or score um those of us that are coming into the chat support that, you know, should probably get treated a little bit better than the average bear.
I'm with you.
I know there's priority support, but it's kind of crazy to pay for priority support when you literally only use the support maybe a couple times a month. So,
Okay, I got some notes on this. I'm gonna get with the support team and maybe we can hash out something. Or maybe they're already working on something because I definitely don't know everything. But let's see what we can do there. I mean, I see it. I've been there myself, so I get what you mean. Cool.
Perfect.
Uh,
Yeah, so I think that is all. This is the
are we
Canny.
doing our live demo? There was somebody that said they called the number, but they got an application error, so I don't. Maybe we want to
Oh,
check that before we send
sure.
everybody to.
Give me a minute. Let's just do that now.
The infamous application error, the unexpected application error. If anybody's seen the IT crowd, you'll get that one.
mhm.
It's a good
Hey,
series.
you have reached Instant Electrician Service.
Can,
How can I help you today?
is this audible to you
Great.
guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, the number's working. The agent's working all right.
Beautiful.
Can you try that again? If that number, I also dropped the number again. And I think we can do a live demo now. If you guys want, I can call the number or you guys can call yourselves and share that feedback because that'll be better for us. Cool, AJ. I think I'll give it a call. Let me go ahead and do it.
Okay.
You have reached Instant Electrician Service. How can I help you today?
Yeah, so I want to install a fan in my living room.
Got it. Let's start with your name. What should I call you?
My name is Ryan.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your name is Ryan. Is that correct?
Yeah, perfect.
Great, Ryan. Could you please provide your email address so we can follow up with you?
Yes. So my email address is ryan@gohighlevel.com.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your email address is ryan@gohighlevel.com. Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. So you need a fan installed in your living room. Anything specific about the installation we should know?
Yeah. I also want to make a decision based on the price. So can you tell me how much will it cost me?
A team member will reach out to you with the price. We'll make sure to get back to you promptly. Thanks for reaching out, Ryan. Have a great day.
Thank you. So for today, the bot has no information. It just knows it's an electrician services and it'll just capture your name, email, and your issue, and that's it. So it works like an answering service that captures the contact's info, that is name, email, reconfirms it, because you've seen AI like systems make a lot of mistakes with names, emails, and then that lead is no longer useful. But yeah, here it will reconfirm that name, reconfirm that email, update that into the contact, and that contact gets created into your system. Yes, Sydney.
Did you call my name?
Sunday,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this is really, really pretty freaking amazing. So I have this use case where I want to ask a series of questions and then save those questions in custom fields. Is that possible with this or not yet?
Yes, that will be possible with this. You will be able to choose. And so I just have name and email, but as soon as it is released this month, you will be able to set up name, email, also like birthday, and let's say budget. But then the only important part there is you also have to make your prompt such that these questions are being asked. So today I have a prompt that is asking for the name, email, and then you just add these questions to your prompt as well, and the content gets updated.
So as long as we've added the questions to the prompt, because we've already added the custom fields, and we actually have already built the automation. The problem is we couldn't get it to save without being in a chat, but this is going to solve that problem then, if I understand you.
Yes,
Right? If
you
I
will
have
be able
10,
to.
15 questions I want to ask, as long as I have each one of them as individual prompt questions and then map that prompt question to a field, the answer will then be put in there. Is that correct?
That is correct, Sunday. But the problem here is, or I think when you have 10 or 12 questions, I think you're asking a lot from one individual bot. You're welcome to try it, but the short and sweet that you're able to keep individual conversations, the better it is, because the longer a conversation goes, the bad or the more context the AI keeps needs to have, and the prompt following becomes less. But yes, if the prompts work for you, and I think this is where the prompts need to be a little more strict, the prompts would have to be such that they're able to handle up to 10 questions. But yes, if you're able to do it, all of those 10 custom fields will get updated based on the information that you get from that prompt.
What I'm thinking of is a couple of years ago, I used to use ManyChat. And then when you were asking a question, you could like sort of create these like a multiple choice selection. And then based on that selection, it could save the selection. I mean, you guys have it too, sort of in your bot, your help desk bot, right? You select an option and then it like ask another question. That's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to like we're trying to get requirements from the client that we're currently using in a form, but have the bot capture it and then book an appointment. Is
Got
like,
it. Have you tried IVR for this? Because this is what IVR does as well, right? You can say
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, these three options, and that also helps you out. Or what are you looking for that's not available with IVR?
No, because I didn't know. I thought IVR was only for phone. I didn't know it was for. Okay, I'll look into it. You've
Oh,
challenged
IVR is
me.
only for phone. Okay, so I thought we were having the conversation for phone, but did you mean chat?
Chat. That's what I'm doing. Yes, in chat.
Perfect. So the demo that I have just now, that was just for the voice aspect of it. The chat, not by the end of this month, but by the second week of October, you will have that available in chat as well. Where if your prompt is asking those questions, those custom fields will get updated.
Okay, but you're still recommending to keep it short, not to ask a lot of questions.
Yes. So that's why we are also moving to multiple. See, chat, maybe multiple messages can work, because chat, you have a lot of time. I was expecting this to be a phone call where I would want the call to be between 2 to 4 minutes. There, 10 questions become more. But yes, on chat, I think it's definitely possible.
I'm sorry. You did say that this was phone. I just was so excited by the response of what what it did. I totally forgot that it was phone. So my bad. Sorry about that, Brew.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Hey,
We got Joshua.
Yeah. I don't know, obviously voice AI, the demo that you showed and what we were messing around with here. Um, we're very much on the minimum viable product, beta testing, finishing all that, totally understand. Like, so obviously what we're seeing today and what we're going to see, 6 months, 9 months, a year from now type thing as a product, like is going to be very different. But one of the things like we see, even with using just the chat AI stuff for clients, is they'll start asking questions about, you know, how long you've been in business, like what's that type of information. And so I'm guessing that the voice AI would also be able to use training data. So if we have that voice AI train off of the client's website, would that be able to pull in, oh, we've been in business since, 1987 and, we have a team of such and such and whatever. Is that correct?
yes. So not in the first release, Joshua, but definitely in the second one. So we have kept that as
Okay.
the phase two. But yes, and the same training that you did in conversation AI, the same training you will be able to use in voice AI as well. So you don't even have to train something new just for that client.
Got it. Okay, that was it. Thanks.
Cool. Charles.
So you talk about the prompt a lot. One of the biggest obstacles, I think, is that we're expecting end users to be prompt engineers. Is there, I mean, even if you look at conversation AI right now, the fact that it will schedule an appointment with having no contact information, and the solution is to put it in the conversation flow or in the prompt, seems kind of crazy. Is there anything in the works as far as the UI UX to make this more straightforward?
Yeah. Yeah, so I understand the problem, and essentially on our end, we are tackling this through three different ways. And I'll present all of those three different ways to understand how this problem could be tackled today. The first way that we are essentially trying to tackle this problem is through templates. Today, you don't have any templates available. You just start with what is out there. What we're trying to do is create business specific templates like a dental template, electrician template, a salon template, a spa template, and you'll be able to choose from these templates that will have these settings already done. And so that's one. The second thing that we're working on is sort of like a co-pilot. A co-pilot is nothing but a chat bot that opens up that will ask you some 10 to 12 questions. After you provide answers to those 10 to 12 questions, it will provide you a prompt that will do those things for you yourself. So it's sort of like a assistant who's asking you what your requirements are. And once you provide those requirements, it creates a prompt that gets added there and there itself. And the third thing, which we are essentially trying to do, is make this available through snapshots on day one itself, where whatever you create and you're able to test for one customer, you're able to replicate that. So for a new SMB, I think you're right. Assuming everyone is a prompt engineer is very difficult. So for for that, we have broken it down into these three things where AI will be able to help you write prompt. The templates will help you choose from prompts or see the examples of what a good prompt is and maybe do copy paste from one prompt to another. And the third one would be snapshots that you would essentially get access to from the community, from the affiliates, and then from the courses as well that the team run, so that you're able to use those snapshots, which has all of this information inbuilt.
Yeah, I mean, I just, two people stand out to me, two teams stand out to me as good resources for this. One is, and they're in the HighLevel community. They've been long time with the HighLevel platform, trying to streamline this process and come up with a more prompt-free environment for that conversation AI and voice AI setup. Because right now, I mean, it's not intuitive. Even in the conversation AI where there are templates, granted they're very general templates, which is fine for a lot of people. unless you're getting really niched down. But from a SaaS point of view and not an agency point of view, the more intuitive and prompt free it can be, the better.
Got it. Got it, Charles. I think we'll keep looking into it, and that's one of the struggles that we are essentially trying to solve as well. And that's our P0 problem, where how can we make it easier for a business owner to come and set this up without them having any information on it? And we'll keep building along those same lines.
I would like to see and I'm sure it has to do with the prompt, but playing the role of an old guy that doesn't want to give my information to a bot. When I called, I didn't give my name. I didn't give my email. Of course, it asked for email, never asked for my phone number. But I did ask for a call back. And then it immediately disconnected. I would like to see, and there's been a couple of comments, if you could pull up the contact, so we could see what is actually created in the contact as far as either task or what's in the conversation
So
window.
today I
Or
can't open up that contact because it's actually in the staging, and my staging like ID password, but I have to reset it. But yeah, it's in staging. It's not in production yet, and in production I'll be able to show you guys the contact as well. But yeah, for now. So even if and the reason it did ask for your phone number, Charles, is because it already has your phone number because you called in. So it'll only ask for name and email because the phone number already exists. Yeah. So we are planning to get this out by the end of this month, Helena. Yes, Dan. Good.
All right. What if they're calling from like their work and it's, an extension? What do we do about the phone number there? Number two, is there a way to, build into this or ask the question, hey, is this your mobile number? And is it okay if we text you? Because if they're calling, they work at like a hospital, you're not getting that phone number.
Yep. And that is where I think because we are opening up the prompts and the actions on day one, you can set it up in the similar way, wherein you can add in the prompt that says, ask them if this is the number that we can call back them on. If they say no, then fetch a phone number from them and then repeat that phone number, confirm that the phone number is correct. So you'll be able to see the prompt that we added for name and email, just copy paste that, make it for phone number, and then tell the bot, only ask this if the contact says, no, I have a different number that you should reach out to me with. And then you can do update contact field, maybe update that phone number either as an additional phone number or update that phone number in some other custom field that says actual phone number to call to. And then that phone number gets updated.
Okay.
Cool. When will this be available? In the coming weeks, I believe, by end of.
And is there any kind of cost estimate around like how this is going to work with voice AI?
Yeah, so we are
actually just a per message thing. That was my understanding, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, Ryan. So this will actually be a per minute thing, and we're currently planning to roll this out in an unlimited plan itself, where you will be able to test the bot for free. But if you want to implement it for a sub account, you'll have to buy a subscription plan itself. That's a subscription plan for all your AI products. So content AI, conversation AI, reviews AI, and voice AI, all four combined will be $97 a sub account.
So to get voice AI, you got to buy all of them, and it's $97 per sub account.
Yes.
Ooh.
We'll also come up with a per minute pricing where you don't have to buy the plan.
Sorry, I mean, like now, any sub account that possibly wants it, what do I got to jack up their price $200 so I can make some money? That's not good.
So there'll also be a per minute. The $97 is for unlimited per month, but you also have a per minute pricing. That per minute pricing we're still ironing out. It may be a little higher because all of these three components come in, and that's why we wanted to launch a unlimited plan. But yes, if the per minute pricing works for you, you'll be able to use it at a per minute itself rather than going for the unlimited one.
Okay, so you can get voice AI standalone because a second ago it sounded like it was part of the subscription only.
So subscription is unlimited per month, but the per minute, per message. So even in other AIs, it's per message, per review, per.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure it's not like, hey, if you want voice AI, you have to buy the unlimited.
Yes, you'll not have that option.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Terms
That
are
gets a
set
thumbs
today
up. Okay.
based on user feedback and our ability to financially do it. Terms may change. So, as always, let's see here. Anything
Can I
else?
ask a quick
Yeah,
quick
for a second,
question?
yeah.
Can I ask a quick question,
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, go for it.
Yay. I'm just listening in. I'm very behind the eight ball on the AI stuff. I mean, I'm decided not to be an early adopter of this, but I have a question, and Dan kind of alluded to it a minute ago. So my customers primarily are B2B customers. They're working inside of a building with an extension. It's not individuals walking around with a cell phone kind of a world that my customers are in. So how would that work? How would, like, if people are calling in from, if I have 4 or 5 contacts in a specific business and one of them is kind of calling into me or whatever, how would the bot know, like, recognize them? They're all going to come from the same phone number.
So what happens today, Glenn? So today, let's say a contact calls in. How does the GHL app recognize it?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't always. I get, I have issues with duplicate contacts and things that we deal with. Again, these are not my customers aren't consumers. So the problem is that, HighLevel is all contact centric, not company centric in how it works. So, when you put a bot into that equation, I just, and again, I'm new to the whole thing here, so I may be just very ignorant about it, which I probably am. But the reality is, I'm just wondering, how does that work in that kind of an environment? People all calling in from from an office like Dan's talking about.
So, Glenn, it's actually so AI bot is just over and above what already happens today with calls. So what I can do is I'll drop my email ID again. Can you give me a few examples? Maybe 4 or 5 contacts they've called in and they're still being jumbled around. We can look at them and see if there's some logic change that we need to do. So this will be done from a CRM perspective than from a AI perspective. So today the voice AI bot doesn't handle any of this. The CRM tells it, hey, this is the contact who called in, pick up the call. It just talks. And once the information is done, it tells the CRM, hey, this is the name, this is the email, this is their issue, add this as a note, trigger this workflow. So it gives it back to the CRM. So the CRM end is where I have to fix this. And I'm dropping my email. If you can drop me an email on this email ID, I'll be able to work with the team and make sure that this is sorted out as well.
Sure, I'll be happy to look into to work with that. Yep.
Zach.
Hello. I was listening to the voice that sounds really great and reasonably natural on that call. I was just wondering, is it in the works for you guys to add that level of voice to the IVR tree? Mostly because, like, some of my clients are like, when people call in, it sounds ultra robotic.
Got it, Zach. So we do have it on a roadmap, but not the near roadmap. Today, the IVR voice is free. When you use voices like this, they come in with a cost because they have been trained, custom trained models that come with a price of the usage as well. So if we add this to IVR, then it'll come with an added cost. That's why it's not on the top of our roadmap today. But yes, if you're able to drop a feedback on this or Canny, we can definitely pick that up from the ideas board. And if the votes are much, we can actually prioritize it and get it done.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Sean.
Hey, how you doing? So I'm not sure if I missed this or not, but does the the voice AI, does it recognize different languages? If someone called speaking Spanish, would it recognize that?
So it can recognize Spanish, but in the first release, it will not be able to talk back in Spanish. The talking back in Spanish, French, and I think German, these are the 3 languages that we're working on next. Initially, it will just be English. It will be able to understand the language, but yeah, not say that back in.
Got you. Thank you.
Cool. Anything else we want to go over?
No, I think this was all from our end. Any other questions?
Charles?
Yeah, so Sean just made me think of something. on phone call, is there a plan on phone calls, on the voice AI? I'm assuming that the voice AI call will be recorded and transcribed in conversations. I'm assuming that's the game plan.
Yes. That'll be the same thing. So
So
today, the same way you have
let's
a, yeah, it'll be the
so
same.
let's say this. My company is based in the US, or maybe I am based in the UK, or I'm based in Canada, and we speak primarily French at the company level. If someone calls in and that voice AI or someone on the phone speaks in a different language, will the transcription be translated? So if I'm a US based company and you end up calling in to my voice AI, you speak German. Well, I sure as hell don't read German or speak German. So how am I going to get the information from that phone call in the transcript?
In the transcript. Makes sense, Charles. I think great feedback. We were running down a feature where the content A that we have in just Social Planner and Funnel website, we wanted to add them
Yeah.
across the CRM. So you can then have a small AI button there that you click on it, tell it to change language, paste the transcript as it is, and it changes the language and or translates it and gives it back to you. So the content AI bit, once it comes to transcript, and we're also planning to bring it out to notes, tasks as well. So even when you're adding, let's say, a transcript to your note, you can add the transcript, tell the AI, hey, can you summarize this into action points and then add a note? Because I don't want to read the entire transcript every time. All of that will be possible, and this will also be solved during that time as well.
I think particularly on the call transcripts, it would be nice to have it if it detects that the language is something other than what the company country is set to, that it automatically transcribes to the primary native language of the company's country without me having to go in and click the AI to translate it.
Got it, Charles. And I think it'll be like one by one for us. I think once we'll want to build that feature.
Just something I
But
wanted to throw out there.
available,
Sean just made me think about it, and I was like, wonder how that's going to work.
Yeah.
So,
It'd be sweet if we could do this on device too with like an Apple SDK, but that's going to get a little bit complicated. So,
what's the time frame on the rollout on this again, on the voice AI?
2 weeks.
End of the month, probably.
Always love the 2-week answer. Thanks, guys.
It's always 2 weeks.
Story of my life. Okay. Awesome stuff here. I mean, again, like for a V1 thing, I think this is pretty useful. And, you know, if it can replace hiring like kind of a frontline employee for a business, maybe they're not at that stage. I think this really makes a lot of sense. And as it gets better, it'll, I think, expand into other use cases that are more complex, like what we're bringing up here. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking about it right now. But awesome work on this. I know the team has been kind of pulling their hair out with a couple of the different versions we've gone through, and they've landed on a pretty good solution for what we want to launch, you know, to begin with. So thanks for all that work through and team.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks everyone for your time. Have a good day.
Yep. Take care, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.